The Indiana Dunes State Park features an astonishing array of unique inhabitants and diverse ecosystems. Within this landscape are clues to the region's dynamic glacial past. The story of the dunes begins during the last ice age with the Laurentide ice sheet, an advancing and retreating continental glacier spanning 17 million cubic miles and weighing over 68,000 trillion tons. The glacier was so large it actually depressed the crust of the Earth itself, to which it continues to bounce back from in a process known as isostatic rebound. As it passed over the Great Lakes region, the Laurentide split into separate, fast-flowing lobes which served as an outlet for the overall glacier. At parts, the southward-flowing Michigan lobe is estimated to have been over 2,000 feet thick, dwarfing even the neighboring Chicago skyline. The lobe margin continued advancing south until about 20,000 years ago when it began to recede from its southern Indiana terminus. Upon reaching northern Indiana, the Michigan lobe stagnated and dropped its suspended debris, or till, to create the Valparaiso Moraine. The moraine, visible from atop Trail 4's Mount Tom, would act as a dam toward ice meltwater from the north and create glacial Lake Chicago. This precursor to Lake Michigan would create the Glenwood shoreline, a series of dunes running southwest into Illinois, at time up to 8 miles from the present shore. Lake levels would continue to fluctuate over the next several thousand years due to open and closed waterways in the north, changes in the climate, and isostatic rebound. Each of the lake level changes would create another independent shoreline and dune landscape. Near the end of the next high and low cycle around 12,000 years ago, the Calumet Beach was formed. The Calumet Dunes are presently visible just south of the park, paralleling much of U.S. Highways 20 and 12. The Tolston Dunes, those we see lining the shoreline today, began forming during one of the lowest lake level phases, the Chippewa. It would take nearly 5,000 years for water to refill the Michigan Basin, during which time early Tolston Dunes began to form and advance inland with the water. One of the largest natural features in the state park, the Great Marsh, saw its formation during this time. Early Tolston beach formations were breached during high storm waters and settled to create a lagoon. As the Tolston beach became established enough to block further intrusion, the lagoon dried into the eventual marsh itself. Take a moment during your visit to the park to appreciate the dynamic geologic history. Hike backwards in time as you walk south from the lake through successional beach phases. Gaze across a once ancient lagoon, 4,000 years removed from its supply of fresh lake water. Or enjoy a glimpse into the glacial past with a winter stroll along the lakefront. All this and more along the trails of the Indiana Dunes State Park.